welcome to the show, Tatiana Maslany.
How are you? I'm great. How are you doing?
Oh, welcome.
Nice. Hello.
Hello. What a pleasure to see you. Congratulations on this whole thing that's happened to you.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
I just broke my button. That's good. They started this off really well. It feels good. Yeah. It feels good. It's a bit of an overwhelming experience, this whole other side of the industry, but it's fun. Yeah.
And it's 10 episodes that kind of just happened. I imagine you didn't have any idea that it would blow up this way, did it?
No, not even remotely. We were so shooting first season in a bubble and didn't even think of I didn't even think of the reception or the audience or anything that could have come of it. So we just were happy to be doing it, and I was so grateful for the challenge of the show and the work I got to do and the actors I got to work with.
I don't understand how you would even have time to think about anything else. Jumping into so many different characters and trying to figure out all those voices so quickly, not just the literal voices, but the emotional voice of those characters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really lucky that the writing is what it is, because it's so clear on the page. You know, you read the character and their point of views in it, and their tone and their voice is there on the page. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
But that's when you start the character. Right. But then it's not just that you have to play all these people, but each one of those people goes through their own individual hyper transition.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that is coming from you. It's in the looks in your faces. It's in the non-dialogue. Because what I've noticed, as much as you have to carry as an actor, there's so much of you in this show where you're not talking. And your face has to be somebody else. That's a pretty interesting headspace, or multiple spaces, to be in.
Yeah, I mean, I think as an actor, you try to just breathe in whatever moment you're in, right? And you just are present in that moment. And the actors I work with, like, give me the character that I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I'm playing with opposite Jordan, who plays Felix, as Sarah, he'll give me Felix with Sarah, you know, as opposed to Felix with Allison, which is a totally different energy and a totally different, you know, sort of endowing that he does for me. But for me, those still moments are where you see a person vulnerable and you see them bare, and they're not talking and defending themselves, right? They kind of, all that other stuff drops, and you just get to see them, and that's the fun stuff and the sort of most dangerous stuff, I think.
Your show is identity and values and your role in society and how other people see you.
Yeah.
You know, and all those different characters get to be what other people are actually going through at home.
Totally.
Minus the clone thing. Unless there are clones out there, then we wouldn't know.
Which, come forward and tell us. Yeah, no, I think people can identify with, and I'm so glad that our show is so female-centric, because you so often see maybe one or two representations of what a woman can be on screen, and yet our show kind of breaks the mold for that and goes, the potential for a human being is so vast and so varied, and it's dependent on where you grew up, but it's not exclusive to that, and it's your choices, and it's your environment, and it's your biology, and all of these things, and it doesn't kind of ascribe, like, it's all biology, or it's all, you know, it's kind of wonderful in that way.
Did you, when you were a kid, could you ever, or a young woman, did you ever identify that there weren't those sorts of women on television? Did you notice a vacuum?
I know that there weren't a lot of women that I identified with on screen. I think I didn't see myself, I didn't see people like me on screen. Or just, as a kid, I wasn't any of those girls. I was so not those girls. And I identified much more with, like, Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles than I did with any human woman on screen. So that's saying something, you know, but so I'm so glad to be playing these kind of vastly different women, you know, and having empathy for each of them, and allowing them each to have their own voice. And whether we can laugh at Allison and her nutty suburban life, we still understand her, and we still know people like her, you know, and hopefully it just opens the door to a deeper understanding of, there's so many facets to a person.
And there's more too, like Cassavetes, for example. Like, when I play you this.
Oh my God, it's my favorite of all time.
You know, everybody is Mabel for everybody. All right, Mabel.
74, right? Yeah, okay.
Mabel's not crazy. She's unusual.
Tell me what you want me to be, how you want me to be. I can be that. I can be anything.
Yeah.
A Woman Under the Influence. Gina Rowland, Peter Falk's amazing.
Yeah.
When did you see that first?
I only saw it first maybe 3 years ago. One of my buddies who's like educating me in amazing film gave it to me. And I couldn't believe it. I felt head over heels. I mean, it's just so beautiful. And I watched it 40 times or something. And on set, anytime that we were kind of like exhausted, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna ever do this. I would put that clip on actually where she's sitting across the table with her and all that stuff. And I would just watch it and like feel this surge of inspiration and like,
What do you think it is? Because it makes people emotional. I have my scenes in movies, if I watch them, I just can't get through them.
Yeah.
But for this one, what do you think it was that worked for you so much?
She's so unusual. She's so bizarre, and she's so not trying to be beautiful or trying, I mean, she's trying for her husband to be beautiful, and she's trying for him to be interesting and to be whatever he wants her to be. When really she can't do that. She can't be those things. She's not those things, you know? And I just think Jenna Rowlands has this incredible feminine, masculine thing about her where she's not the conventional leading lady by any means. She's sort of a presence, you know? And she just has this, I don't know, this spontaneous thing, this humor in her, and this deep well of stuff, you know, in her guts that she just goes, bleh.
Stick around, more with Tatiana right after this.
Yeah.
Nice. On the day that MTA died. All right, coming up, another fine Canadian actor has some questions for Tatiana. Not gonna say who it is, but you can call him Fitz.
Hey, George. Hi, Tat. Jason Priestley here. I've actually got two questions for you, Tat. One, do you miss Jennifer at all? And two, what was that song that you and Richard liked to sing in the car? Do you remember that song, that special song, Richard's special song? What was that song again?
Oh my God.
Well, who or what is Jennifer?
Who or what is Jennifer? Jennifer is the absolute stunner of a VW bug that Richard and I drove in through all of Cass and Dillon.
Richard Dreyfuss and you in
Richard
this scene,
Dreyfuss.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in all these scenes with Richard Dreyfuss,
Yeah.
which is kind of nuts.
It was insane. It was absolutely insane. We were just in a car together, playing and joking around, and then it was a movie. It was totally surreal. He's so incredible because he never made me feel like I was sitting in a car with Richard Dreyfuss. It was like sitting in a car with a guy who's like, all right, let's play, let's screw this around, let's go off book, you know, like create something real here.
It's nice to be in part of a Canadian film like that.
Yeah.
And Priestley's directorial debut as a feature.
Yeah.
You know, what was that experience like for you?
It was totally surreal because it became such a kind of quiet little thing that we were doing, and you know, you have Richard Dreyfuss on set, and that is such an amazing thing. I mean, he's a legend and has worked with everybody, and he just always made us feel so relaxed and at home, and he and I had so much fun just playing off of each other. And I just soaked in everything he was doing and tried to learn from him. Because comedy scares me, and it's doubly scary to work opposite somebody who's so good at it, such a scientist at it. So I just tried to soak it in.
You got to see Orphan Black. Season 2 premieres on Space, April the 19th. And then you got to watch Cass and Dillon with, of course, her and Richard Dreyfuss and Jason Priestley putting it together. It'll be in theaters. It's a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We're having fun, everybody.
Thank
We'll be right back.
you.